In your life, what is your greatest regret?
Oh. You know, I really don't have regrets. I am a person that says, you know, as soon as you look back in your history and you come up with something that you feel like you want to change, something else has to change. You know, so
What about your biggest disappointment?
once again, that's the same analogy. You know, disappointment to me, to win, you got to lose. To be successful, you got to have something that's not successful. To be happy, you got to have disappointment. So I think all of those things have evolved and happened to make me who I am and understand the benefits and the privileges I have for being who I am, you know, and not to wear it on my sleeve, be very humble about it. That's one thing my parents taught me very well is, you know, don't wear your reputation, don't wear your accolades, don't wear your, you know, your personality on your sleeve. Let it happen, let it be you. It is who you are. Don't hide from it, but don't wear it and rub it in people's faces.
I felt I was open. I felt confident, and I felt within range. And when I got it, I just kept fluid motion and went straight up and made the shot. So I made it with a lot of confidence, not with no doubt or anything.
I always wanted to be connected to basketball because my love is always going to be towards basketball. And the best way that I think I can pass on the knowledge that I have for the game of basketball to tomorrow's players is through ownership. You know, being able to earn the respect of the players, be able to communicate with the players, to give them the understanding of what it takes to play in the league and to excel within the league. So initially when I got out of basketball in 2003, actually I got out in 1998, you know, when the team was dismantled. I really didn't know what I was going to do in terms of ownership. So I looked at, and I was presented an opportunity to be a part of a ownership in Washington from a general manager standpoint. And with that came an education of understanding what it took. So quite naturally, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to understand you're going to make mistakes. The most important thing about making mistakes is being able to learn from them and not be able to duplicate the same mistake. If you have a good game, your game is going to say that. You know, you don't have to say it. So I guess just trying to play down some of the trash talking, you know, animosity that's in words and the whole promotional thing. Let your game be your promotion. You know, the thing that I remember the most about my father, you know, rarely do I get the chance to talk about him, you know, but the thing that I do remember all the time, you know, I think about him practically every day, is for a person like myself who live in the spotlight and is so critical, you know, from people all the time in terms of what I do, what I say, you know, where I go. The thing he's always said, take a pause before you make a decision and say, what if? And the purpose for saying what if is that whatever decision you make, always either going to have consequences, either pros and cons.
No, but you obviously listened to your father, because in the very beginning, you spoke about being humble, not shouting about who you are and what you've done, and just being within yourself.
Sure.
And a lot of kids growing up may start that way because of their parents, but don't end up that way.
Right.
You ended up that way.
Well, I mean, once again, it's not just my father. You know, my mother calls me practically every day, reiterating, keep your nose clean. She ends the conversation. People are watching. You know, people are learning. People are paying attention. And, you know, the best news in today that sells is negative news. And not that I live in a box to where I'm afraid to do things. I know that, you know, as my father says, the what if comment is to be able to deal with the consequences of what decisions you make. And you think about that. If you think about the consequences, pro or con, you make the right decisions that you feel is the right decision. Now, all the decisions I made, other people may view to be not the right decisions from their perspective. But for me to go play baseball, and everybody says, oh, it was a failed opportunity to play baseball. You know, that's what they think. For me, it was the best thing that could have happened for me because it allowed me to go back to the game with a stronger passion. People don't see that, and people will never understand that to be success. You know, all they think about, well, he batted .202, you know, and he struck out a certain number of times. Yeah, okay. You know, but the effort was there, and the learning curve and the passion was there that has transcended not just to me, but to other people who are afraid to do things because they're worried about the perception that may come from other places. To me, that's more gratifying than anything, you know. So that's the things that my father and my mother instilled in me. Take a negative and turn it into a positive. Don't be afraid to fail.
You know, basketball is my love, always have been, and I can't ever, you know, envision an ending of something like that. You know, that passion that I have for the game until I'm dead and gone.
My dedication to the game of basketball, unwaveringly, you know, dedication day in and day out, and how I hold being the leader of the team, being the one that's been there for the longest. I hold everybody else accountable for the success of what happened at the end of the year. And people may look at it and, you know, they're going to get an honest understanding for what winning is about, you know, what leadership is about, what passion, drive. Now, you know, players may look at it and say, well, God, it was really tough. But when you think about what happened after us winning, you know, the contracts that, you know, other guys got, the memories that everybody got, the championship, blah, 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 it's much more gratifying.
The biggest thing about it for me was duplication, being that staying on that highest of level of excellence, you know, showing that, you know, it's not easy to get here. Or once you get here, it's harder to stay. And the challenge of staying and playing at that same level was the beauty that I saw. And I feel like if I can ever think about, you know, what I miss about the game was being that consistent each and every day. That, you know, every time a naysayer say he can't do this, well, I think I can prove you wrong. You know, I think I can do that.
I don't look at this moment as a defining end to my relationship with the game of basketball. It's simply a continuation of something that I started a long time ago. One day you might look up and see me playing the game at 50. Oh, don't laugh. Don't never say never. Because limits, like fears, are often just an illusion. Thank you very much. Look forward to it.